Hello, everyone. This is Nate.
I'm Angie.
And what better way to kick off the football season than by watching a good old football movie? And no, we didn't see Remember the Titans because I don't think I own it.
I,
I
I don't
don't.
know. We
I don't
do.
think.
We should. That's
But
a really good one.
but that's the one I wanted to see. But instead, we watched We Are Marshall, starring Bradley Cooper's twin brother Matthew McConaughey. So, Angie, what did you think of We Are Marshall?
I loved it.
You love.
I did. I loved the cast. I loved the characters. I loved just the story behind it. I didn't know until you told me anything about it. I didn't know it was, a true story. And that to me made the movie that much better and more inspiring.
It. You know what? I'd seen this movie years before and I don't remember liking it all that much. But watching it again, I really did enjoy this film. And I think it's a real testament to how powerful sports can be. A lot of people like to say, oh, sports don't matter. Oh, it's just people throwing around a ball. But sports can really bring
People
community.
together.
It can bring people together in a way that hardly anything else can. There's only certain things in the world that can bring people together like that. Music, and sports are really the only two things that can bring people together so easily. And I think this movie brings that out very well. I mean, just the story behind it is Marshall's football team, the entire coaching staff, a lot of the boosters, and the athletic director all die in a tragic plane crash, and they have to restart the football program from scratch. And it's Matthew McConaughey plays the football coach that they bring on to resurrect the football program, and it really is a really good film.
Hmm.
There's a lot of things to like about it. It does the tragedy very well. It's very tactful, very
Hmm.
tasteful, very respectful
Hmm.
of the tragic events that happened over there.
Yeah.
And all the performances were really good. Again, this isn't Remember the Titans good,
Hmm.
but no sports movie is Remember the Titans good. That's the best sports movie out there, in my humble opinion, anyway. But yeah, it's very tactful. It's very tasteful. The performances are great. If I were to have a complaint, it would be that the actual football scenes weren't the best they could be. But even then, there are a lot of moments in it when you're watching where it's very tense.
Hmm.
There's a lot of emotion going on there, which I thought was really good.
Yeah, I found myself rooting like I would if I was actually there watching the game. I got
Nick,
really into it.
like you have a feeling like, yeah, they're gonna win, but it still has you on the edge of your seat, wanting them to win, still cheering for them to win.
Hmm.
Like you see the clock running down. I remember you're like, well, get the snap off, get the snap off. Like they're not gonna end the movie on them losing because they failed to snap the ball. But that just goes to show you how well filmed it is.
Hmm.
That it could.
And I felt connected to the characters. Like I felt for them, like what they were going through. I might have gotten a little emotional in a couple of the scenes.
Maybe a little bit. One thing I really did like, I liked Matthew McConaughey's big rally speech
Hmm.
near the end of the film. And most sports movies have that big rally speech. Most of them aren't really any good.
But I thought his was done really good, and
It's done in that folky, country, strange, weird hick style that only really Matthew McConaughey can pull off. Anyone else doing that would just look ridiculous, and he does look ridiculous, but it works somehow for Matthew McConaughey. I don't know how it works for him. That's the kind of thing that he
it was
does
a
really
quirky
well.
character, but yeah, it was done really good. The only thing I didn't like was the whole like the mouth thing. Does he
Yeah,
always talk like that, or was it
he
like just
always,
his character?
he
Like the
always
one side
had
of his mouth
he
just
always
goes.
looks like he just went through a stroke, and half his mouth doesn't work. So
Yeah.
his whole mouth is off to the side of his face when he's talking. He always looks like he has some chew in his
Yeah,
mouth.
but is it always like that, or is it just his character?
Just
I
his
feel like I have to go.
character.
Okay, because I
It's
was gonna
just
say I
his
feel like I have to go watch
character.
the movies
He's
now to see if he
I
does it
mean,
all the time.
he does it all the time when he's trying to speak in that weirdo southern accent of
Doesn't
his.
he have a southern accent though, naturally?
But he doesn't talk like that usually. That's not
I
his
think he added more
natural.
like twang
Yeah,
to
he
it.
he moved his whole mouth to the side of his face. Very odd choice, but it works for Matthew McConaughey. He's a good actor. He used to do really cruddy roles, but he's doing better stuff now, you know. So, We Are Marshall. What would you give We Are Marshall?
A 4.
You give it a 4? I want to give it either a 4 or a 5. I mean, I kind of hesitate to give it a 5 because to me it's not outstanding level.
Hmm.
Like a Remember the Time. I keep referencing like that's the only sports movie I
Well,
can think of. That's a 5-star sports movie.
I was stuck between the two numbers myself, but I'm gonna try to go away from the halves, and I'm leaning more towards the 4
You
side than the
can do
5.
a half.
No.
I'm not telling you can't do a half.
Not 4.
A 4. I will give it a 4 as well. It's a really good movie. It doesn't have a lot of flaws in it, but it doesn't reach greatness, I don't think. It doesn't quite get up to that level. All right, so 4s all around. That'll be it for us. I am Nate,
I'm Angie.
and you have a good one.